What is your message to those people who just want to start coming to Europe or coming to finding a job and finding a career in Europe? So what would you say to them?
To whomever, I will say only one thing: the country which you move, just know about the country and the cultural. And then second thing is language. Like you don't need to be pro for the, like you don't need to complete the language levels, everything, but at least you should know how to speak to the people. And then make sure that you're not making some mistakes with the cultural things. Like there are some things we can do in our country but we cannot do in this country. These kind of things will be there. And then second thing is like you can get job very easily, especially in Europe. You can get a job easily. Just you have to plan, and then you have to execute the plan in such a way that you will get a job within 6 months. We shouldn't be in hurry to get a job with, yeah, I will apply for 1 month, I will get a job. You should have some patience. Like patience in the sense you shouldn't wait for 4 to 5 years. It's huge patience. We don't need that kind of patience. Like take a target for 4 to 6 months and then work on it. If it doesn't work, just skip the way and then get a new way. Age factor also matters in everything. That's the reason I'm saying, like I'm older. I'm 26-year-old guy. I'm searching for a job. I think right now there is a recession period going on. Like no companies has extra fund to take me as a new intern or new. Wait for January. Like recession period is going out, and then you can get a job easily. And then I will say only one thing, like make the plan, and then only for short amount of time. Don't spend your time on like fully on that. Instead of that, you can learn by sideways some extra skills. Like don't depend only on the single skills. Like if you have AutoCAD skills very good, then try to learn some other new skills, extra skills like programming skills. Yeah, some other skills. Anything, it might be anything,
Yeah.
which might interest you. Don't depend on only on one skills, because nowadays everyone is looking for a multi-talented guy. Even nowadays, now new generations are like everyone are much upgraded than us, so they are very fast and they're very fast paced. Even in coming years they might compete us. So that's the reason better learn side by side skills, more side by side skills, so it
Yeah.
might help you to get into whatever the career you want.
That's
I can
that's
say this thing.
yeah. That was great thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little confusion whether to do research thing or to get into design field. Like I have experience in design field, like piping designing and some kind of HVAC and Revit MEP things. I can, yeah, I had a little confusion. So would you give some suggestions?
Well, my suggestion is that go back to your interest. This
Okay.
is something very important. I mean, take a look at my hand. What do you see
Yeah.
in what I have in my hand? This is a bearing.
Yeah.
This is a 3D printed bearing.
3D printed bearing. Yeah.
Yeah, it is designed exactly all at once, printed,
Mm-hmm.
and this works without any kind of extra thing. So this is a kind of design job. But
Okay.
at the end of the day, this design doesn't work if you don't have a good 3D printer. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So whatever you do has a expiration date. So
Okay.
whatever you do will be valid maybe for another 2 to 3 months, and after 2 months, somebody else will come who's doing some other design which is different.
Okay.
But because
Okay.
they're working with a different 3D printer, then they will be better than you. Your
Okay.
position will be always a student or a technician. This is actually
Yeah.
the problem that you have. If you want to have a kind of job security for long term,
Yeah.
consider all of the factors that are really, I mean, anyway, you can be also a technician. There is nothing against it. But the point
Mm-hmm.
is that being a technician in a fastly growing technology doesn't give you the kind of job security you want.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? You need to think a little bit forward. Think about the plan that you want to have in 1 year, what is in 5 years, and consider that the technology of 3D printing is growing over the next
Yeah.
5 years a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Take a look at metal printing. Is every day there are some new products and new things. This Mark Forge that you're talking about, that
Yeah.
every 6 months they are bringing a new product here with
Yeah.
different, you know, that this kind of Kevlar material, they changed a lot of things, and now they are carbon fibers and then
Yeah.
graphene and all of this stuff. If you touch a topic that is changing a lot,
Yeah.
your expertise is always on the question. Then people, they don't know whether to trust a new machine or trust you. You
Yeah.
know, there is a little bit of risk together with that. So your expertise should be independent of the technology. So try to be a little bit outside. You should somehow ride onto the technology by knowing exactly the technology, but you should not put your job security dependence to the type of the machine that you have. Forget this kind of thing. I mean, get out of that kind of the daily work and think about the kind of roadmap. You need to exactly know that what kind of expertise you need to learn now, what is the next year, what is in 5 years. And if you don't know the roadmap, then you will be out of the game because always there is something coming and you're surprised.
Yeah.
So
how that happens.
You should try to know this stuff in advance before then you will not be surprised. I mean, at the in 3D printing, and I know the 3D printing is in the market for the last 35 years. So I will not be surprised. I know exactly the number of the patents on the 3D printing, and I know that. I mean, I know that, for example, next year there will be a 3D printer, metal printer, the price less than 10,000 euro. This is my expectation. So I will not be surprised if there is a news coming out and just say, okay, right now from now, because I'm prepared for that. Actually, I was prepared since 5 years ago that in 2020 there will be a printer, metal printer, price less than 10,000 euro. So next year I will not be surprised because I'm ready for that. I have the technology and I'm just waiting for that. So it is very important. So for example, like a simulation of the 3D printed parts, like optimization for the 3D printing part. But these are things that we were prepared at least for the last 10 years. We know exactly, like optical 3D printing, we did a project, we printed optical 3D printers. And we finished this European project with we had over 100 European partners on that.
That's great.
But the preparation for that was at least 2 years before that. So I was never surprised with the technology because I plan it. I plan it always between 5 to 10 years in advance, and I know exactly at what time I should learn what, I should buy what devices, and so on. So this is actually, I'm on top of technology because I just know the roadmaps for different technologies. I mean, and I know how to change the topics from one topic to the others. At that time, I was not surprised, and right now I'm still not surprised that so many people are not knowing anything about the nano printing. That is totally okay. You just need to know that. That's it.
That's it.
Just know the technology, know the trends, and in the correct time, you need to learn the correct thing and move to the correct business. Sometimes people asking me, why don't you buy a metal printer? Just say, hey, why? I'm not stupid. I'm just waiting for 2020 and the correct price. And meanwhile, if I want to have a metal printer, I use our casting machine and the normal SLA 3D printer. So with the SLA 3D printer, I can print basically any kind of, I can cast any metal part that I need. So I need it. And if I really need it, I just go 1 kilometer away from here. There is another machine, one of our colleagues, partners, they have it. Printed for 1 pieces and they come back. So I don't need to buy it now, but next year it will be cheap. I will buy it.
That's very cool. Idea was very cool. Even you had a gear in your hand. The same thing I worked. The same thing. This kind of gear I worked with shape memory effect, like different kind of gears with thermoplastic polyurethane. I worked with the same kind of gear things. Like the project is interesting, everything is interesting, but this kind of projects doesn't have life now. It should be like, it doesn't have life. We are just experimenting the things to get into the reality world. But it takes maybe years, like 2 decades or 3 decades to get on. That's the reason I'm asking, should I get into this field or not? And there's the question even blinking in mind after 6 months.
It is quite difficult. I mean, if I want to suggest somebody like you to start a program, I would say that consider something like a 4D printing and self-assembly as one option, because this 4D printing is still at the research. So if you want to jump into the research with your design capabilities, you should go to 4D printing. This is something which is related to self-assembly, and AI is also improving. So when AI in 5 years will be as cool as what it should be, then assembly is actually a part of that, needs to be integrated. So the 4D printing would be very important together with the design and the robotic. This is something that is very important. Meanwhile, the consumer product, in the case of the 3D printing, like a mixed product or let's say modular product, are really important. These are something that we also need to consider that for the next 2 to 3 years. And in between, you just need to find some jobs. But this is totally up to you whether you want to go into academic direction or you want to go to engineering and technician.
Okay.
And at the same time, having your own company is also something not that bad. This is also something to start your own startup, because you can also earn a lot of money just by having your own service center.
Yeah.
This is another option. So consider that all three options, these are at least three options that comes immediately to my mind, but certainly we can also do other things.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. I will get in touch with you like for some kind of, if I need some kind of help, can I get in touch with you? Like, I'm just asking you.
It was really great to talk to you, and then we will be in touch. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay.
Have a nice day and bye bye.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.